Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic IAS. Let's start our IAS PCSwala Delhi current affairs. Today we have near about 11 to 12 topic that we will discuss one by one. So the first topic that we are going to discuss is the Tamluk. This is associated with the ancient history, the port that is very important into the history of ancient India. So here you will see that what is the significance of the Tamluk city. It is in the news because of there is the intense contestation, the election contestation between the BJP candidate, that is already the former High Court judge of the Calcutta High Court, and also from the TMC. Then we will see that the Buddha Purnima, now it is being celebrated today, 22nd of the May. So why this is important? We will study with respect to the cultural perspective under GS paper 1. After that, we will see that there has been the death of the 30 flamingos. So we will see that what is the environmental impact, the protection and the conservation of the environment, and the need for the development, such as the development of the infrastructure, such as the port, road, and other things. So this will be under GS paper 3 environment section. After that, we will see that some of the basic signs such as the X chromosome and its role into the autoimmune disease and other such disease due to the genetic deficiency. So it will be under the GS paper 3 basic science, that is the part of the science and technology. Then we will again from the science section we will see that the why waterfall appears white. We will see that a shining white, the color of the waterfall from the distance. So what is the region? We will see that under the GS paper 3 basic science. What is the region, such as the reflection, refraction, all these things that we will see. After that, we will see that the climate change, a passing cloud in Indian politics. Here you will see that now the election is going on and the debate on the climate change as per the manifesto mentioned by the different political parties. Here we will see that the manifesto of the Congress and BJP and how they are taking the climate change. We will study one by one. Then we will see that the spot lightening pre-eclampsia, ensuring safe motherhood. So here we will see that the different stakeholder associated with the very initial stage of a human being when the different type of the care is needed. So we will cover it under the again the GS paper of the GS paper 3 basic science, as well as it can be part of the GS paper 2 health sector. So this will be discussed. Then we will study the end of the punishment. Here we will talk about the Assange, the founder of the WikiLeaks, one of the website where a lot of information associated with the US Army and its operation into the Afghanistan, Iraq, and other such area has been leaked, and he has been continuously sued, and yes, he has been haunted by the US and other such countries for his act. So this is considered as the dilemma. This is the very debatable area, that whether the information leak is associated with the public cause or this is the national security and threat to the national security. So it will be part of the ethics case study where you talk about the national security as well as you talk about the ethical behavior, the responsibility of a person towards its nation and its people as a whole. Then we will study the risk of Russia's nuclear posturing. Here you will see that the threat given by the Russia recently, we've seen that such thing is not good for the nuclear doctrine. So we will study under GS paper 2 international relation, where we talk about the nuclear doctrine, nuclear weapon, and the non-proliferation movement with respect to the this nuclear weapon and the weapons of the mass destruction. After that, we will see that the changing rules on the onion export. Already we have covered a lot of that. Recently we saw that in December 2023, government imposed the ban on the export of the union. After that, there was the relaxation, and recently in the context of the election, there was they permitted the export. So we will see all this thing. After that, we will see that the RBI postponed the framework to administer project financing. So here we will see that this is associated with the banking sector, and particularly with respect to the non-banking financial institutions. So in this we will study what is the difference between non-banking financial institution or the non-banking financial companies and non-banking and BFCs. Non-banking financial companies, or these are also known as the non-banking financial institution. So we will see that what is the differences from the traditional banking system. So this will be all about 11 topics for the today discussion. One by one we will see. Let's start with the front page. The front page, the first news is the can arrest be declared invalid after court has taken cognizance. Here you will see that now the debate is on the Hemant Soren. His arrest itself is the invalid and non-constitutional. Now the debate is going on. You leave that everything else, that whether he should be given interim bail or not. The thing is now that his arrest is being discussed, that this is illegal itself. So we will see that what the further it is coming as. The Supreme Court says that already there has been a recognition of the prima facie, the crime has been done by the lower court and the special court. So let's see that whether the prima facie guilty based on the evidence was not, and if it is not, the arrest will be declared itself as the illegal and invalid. So let's see that what is the further result and the outcome that is going to come. Here you will see that the two killed at the BJP RJD workers class day after the Bihar polling. So you will see that the muscles power and the money power that is continued into the Bihar election. One of the example you can give, otherwise none of this is the relevant for you. Just one of the example, whenever you are going to mention the muscles power and the money power into the election is still there, and we need to fight all this thing to make our Indian democracy more stronger. Next news is the collision with the jet kills 30 flamingo. There is the further news that is in the detail we will see. Bengaluru blast, NIA search homes of the two doctors. This is the criminal news. We don't have the basic information. We don't have to go into the detail because it is not relevant. We don't have that much relevant information from this news, so we will not go. Here again, this is the political type of the news, but however here it is given that this is associated with the Tamluk. So we will know about the basic about the Tamluk. This is from the Tamluk constituency. So you should know that the Tamluk, this has been the important port city in the Indian ancient history. And here the Vain song, he was the famous traveler. You will see that whenever you will study this, the Gupta period, and not Gupta period, the Hasvardhana period, it is around the 600 AD. So Yun song has been there into the Tamralipta city. So here the ancient name of this is the Tamralipta. Okay, so it is at the confluence of the Rupnarayan river and the Subarnrekha river. So please remember that. Even we can have some traces of the city from the 3rd century BC. So please know all these things. That is important for the history area of our syllabus. Next news that we are going to take that is important from this pictures. This is statue. This is the statue of the Buddha and the Buddha Purnima. So Buddha Purnima is celebrated to recommemorate the 3 important things that is associated with the Buddha. The one thing is that the birth of the Buddha. So the first thing is considered the Buddha birth is a very auspicious, and he was born into the Lumbini, Nepal. So please remember the near about date, it is the 563 BC. So please remember this thing. So here you will see that the birth of the Buddha in the Lumbini, that is the one of the most important days for the Buddhists. Second is the enlightenment. When the Buddha got the knowledge, he become to know the truth of the world, and after that he become neither too much sorrow or the too much sad for anything or the too much happy, because he know that what will be the end result of all this thing, and this is the enlightenment. The enlightenment that Buddha got under the Bodhi tree into the Bodh Gaya, that is into the Bihar. So please remember this. The other thing is the Parinirvana. Parinirvana, where the Buddha got the Parinirvana into the Kushinagar, the hometown of myself. The Kushinagar is the hometown of my residential area, my native area. So here in Kushinagar, the Buddha got the Parinirvana. All places are very close to each other. Near about the Lumbini, that is 150 kilometers away from the Kushinagar. So these are all, the Bodh Gaya is also not far away. So these are into the triangular area. So we will find that all three are associated with the Buddha, and this is celebrated on the Buddha Purnima day. This is based on the lunar calendar. That is based on the movement of the moon around the earth. So this day is not fixed. The Buddha Purnima, the date is not fixed, and that's vary. This year it is being celebrated today, 22nd of the May. So please remember this. Next important news is the 30 flamingos fall dead rammed by the jet on the glide path to the Mumbai airport. So why it is into the news? Because this date of the 30 flamingos, that is very unique thing. Before that there was no death, and this is associated with the Ghatakopar area. Recently we saw that the hoarding, a very large hoarding fall on the petrol pump and the death of the many person. Again, this is the area from there we have found the death of the 30 flamingos, and here you will see that the area where this flamingo has been found dead, that was controversial area that has been contested, that was government was asking this area for the construction of the new airport. However, the forest department was not ready to give, and recently we saw that there was the threat from the government department that we will eliminate all these animals, and after that you will have to give the land for the development. And this death is associated, maybe there is the suspicion, many of the NGO, they are of the suspicious that it was to take the land for the development of the airport. So here, who knows the truth? There is the further investigation that is going on. After that only the truth will come. Here you will see that what could be the possible reason here. The flight altitude was the low, and it was deviated from the funnel path, that is the path given to that is given to the pilots that they have to follow, but they deviated, and this was due to this incident that took place. So here you will see that the controversy with respect to the wetland, and here you will see that the Panje wetland that has been into the debate area. This is being demanded by the government for the construction of the Navi Mumbai airport. However, there is the opposition from the activists that this should not be done as per related to the protection of these species who are associated with this area, Panje wetland, and they are also important for the regulation of the different environmental and atmospheric services. Okay, so this is all about. Next important news that we are going to take is from the science section. X chromosome revival in the older women increases the risk of the autoimmune disease. So what is the X chromosome? So chromosome is a genetical construct into the human body, and here you will see that it is one of the basic building block of the human body, chromosome. It is made up of the DNA. Okay, so this carry the genetic information such, for example, this DNA. The DNA is the coding. This is like the software into the human body, they talk about the different characteristic of the human. For the color of my eye, that is dependent of this DNA. The height I am going to acquire, the voice, all this thing is dependent on this DNA. And this chromosome that is constructed by this DNA, and the layering of the main layering area is the telomere. Here you will see the histones. These are the proteins that package and organize the DNA within the chromosome. So please remember what are the building blocks, such as the histones, centromeres, and the telomeres. Histones, centromeres, and the telomeres, and the DNA. These are the building blocks. And there is the two type of the chromosome. One is the autosomes and other are the sex chromosome. This sex chromosome decide that whether a child will be girl, baby girl, or the boy. So here you will see that the XX for the female and XY for the male. So here you will see that it is the Y chromosome that is mainly associated with the male portion that decide the sex of a child. Okay, so this is here you should know. Beside that, you should know that what are the disease that is caused by these chromosome. So there is the diseases, genetic diseases, that is the factored by the absence or the extra presence of the chromosome. So here you will see that if there will be the extra X chromosome, there will be the disease that is known as the Klinefelter syndrome. And if there is the loss of one X chromosome, that will result into the Turner's syndrome. Both are associated with the genetics, and it can result into the absence or the extra presence of the X chromosome. Please remember all these things for your state PCS as well as for the prelims examination. Here you will see that the Alzheimer's disease, you must be knowing the Alzheimer's disease, this Alzheimer's disease that result into the loss of the memory. Even the son cannot identify his father or the mother. The mother cannot, if the mother is suffering from the Alzheimer's disease, they cannot remember that who is my son, who is my daughter, who is husband, where is my house. So Alzheimer's disease, you will see that now it has been found that it is the sex bias. What is mean by the sex bias? It is found more into the women as compared to the men, and that's why worldwide there are the numbers of the women who are suffering the Alzheimer's disease is the 2 times as compared to the men who are suffering from this Alzheimer's disease. So please remember all this thing. Next important news is again from the science, and this is very much interesting. So here it is given that why a waterfalls appear white. So you will see that these waterfalls always looks white. What is the reason? This is the main reason is due to the refraction and the reflection. So here you will see that what is refraction and what is the reflection. So let me explain here that if the sun rays falls here, and if this is air and this is the glass, so if sun rays falling here, you will see that some of the rays that reflected, this is known as the reflection. Some of the rays reflected, some of the rays that enters, but there is the change in the direction. You will see that this should be the, however, there is a change in the direction, and this is known as the refraction. So refraction, when this sun rays enter into the other medium, this is the air, one medium, this is the glass, and this is the second medium. Here you will see that the refraction will take place. And if there is the lot of such bodies, after that if there is the again there is the glass, so there will be the one time again there will be the reflection, and there will be the reflection. What is the main reason for the whitish colors? There is no whitish color that is by itself they are coming. The white color is result of the reflection and reflection of the all the light particle that is coming. When the all colors are reflected from the surface of an object, it appear white. So this is the main reason. And in the waterfall, there is a lot of water droplet. Under that, whenever the light falls, that reflected and reflected. So if there is a lot of water particle, look that if this is the water particle, just I have zoomed this water particle. Think this is very minute, but when I am zooming, this is this. And when the light particle falls on this, the some particle that will be light. Here it is the light. Some of the light will be reflected. And some of the light that will be refracted. Okay. Again think that there is the other water particle. And again there will be the reflection and the reflection. Okay. This is done for the multiple times, and when there is the all the light will be reflected or the refracted. Overall there will be no absorption of the light particle, and that will result into the total scattering. Scattering means if there is the from the all side the light is coming and the reflection and the reflectance is taking place. Okay. So whenever there is the light on the waterfall that is coming from the all the direction, and the reflection and the refraction is taking place, that will result into the scattering, and this will result into the white color of the this waterfall. And whenever this is happening when the light is coming from the all direction. If there is the waterfall, think that this is the waterfall and the light is coming from the all direction. Okay, if the light is coming from the all direction, only then it will be the white color that is visible. What will happen if the light is coming from the only one direction? If the light is coming from the all direction, think that the light is coming from the this direction, unidirection. So there will be the creation of the rainbows. In many times, if you will go into the on the waterfall area, and many times you will see that the beautiful rainbow that is being created, it is due to the unidirection of the light. It is generally into the narrowed type of the waterfall. Whenever there is the mountain, the rocks are there, and only from the one side the light is coming, and in that case it will be the rainbow. 7 color of the light will be visible here. So please remember, this is the reflection and the refraction. So one is the reflection. What is the reflection? Reflection is that when the light is coming and not entering into the medium. This is the reflection. And other is the refraction. Refraction. Please remember these two words. They are similar, but there is the huge difference. They looks reflection, reflection. One is not entering into this other medium. Other is entering, and there is the change in the direction. The direction should have been like that, straight, but due to the changes in medium, this has been changed. So here you will see that this is the change into the path due to the reflection. So please remember what is the, if the question comes that what is the reason for the white color of the waterfall, it is the reflection and the reflection. Please remember this. Next news that we are going to take is from the editorial news, and it is talking about the climate change, a passing cloud in the Indian politics. Here, this is talking mainly about the election is going on in India. And here, the two major parties, this article is talking about the Congress and the BJP and their manifesto. This writer has gone through the manifesto and found that there has been the very little debate and the discussion that is taking place on the issue of the climate change. Despite the climate change is the most dominating factor that is affecting the life of a common man. However, this is not being discussed because this is not the emotional issue. You have to raise the emotions of the people so that you can turn this emotion into the vote. And here the climate change need lot of information, knowledge that how it is impacting. People cannot understand that what is the sea level rise, but the people know that what is the temple, what is the mosque, what is the church. Okay. However, the impact of this climate change is much worse on the people, and that is the people can witness, people are easily they are facing that. However, the explanation is difficult. The explanation of religion, caste is very easy. However, the real impact is not as much as this climate change. For example, the heat stroke and the death due to the heat stroke is maximum into the poor people who are working into the field or some of the construction site or some of the other project, because they had suffering because of this climate change and increase in the overall temperature of this. Here, the writer have gone through the manifesto and has found that there is very little mention of this climate change. There is the one topic that has been mentioned into the manifesto of the Congress that's talk about the environment protection and the climate change authority, and the proposes a Green New Deal investment program without clear direction on the commitments to the specific reduction in the carbon emission. Okay. So the carbon manifesto, they do not talk about what will be the clear ground of the reduction of this carbon and the carbon dioxide and the carbon emission. Even the BJP manifesto, they have not brought, they have just praised the past initiative. They have not discussed that what they are going to bring when they are going to be into the power. Just they have discussed that in the future what they have done. Beside that, here you will see that for the middle class, for those voters who are the educated, for them the climate change is there. But the masses are they are more concerned about the economic portion, how much money they are going to get, social perspective, like which religion going to impact that, and other things such as the extremist thought and the provocative thing that has been more part of the debate. You must have listening such type of the comment and that is going on. But you will not find in any of the discussion there is the climate change that is the focus area, that is the main concern of this writer, and that this article is talking about all about. Next news that again from the editorial column, here it is talking about the vote for the change. Here it is the voting pattern, the change in the voting pattern into the Kashmir Valley. We have seen that a high percentage of the voter turnout. Here you will see that in the Srinagar it has been 38%, 38.5%, and the Baramulla it is 59%. It was very less into the previous election. Into 2019 it was just 13% into the Srinagar, 13 to the 38. Huge difference, near about the 3 times more. And here you will see that the 34 to the 59, again the double the voter turnout. So here the BJP is claiming that this is due to the good decision taken by the BJP, just such as the repealing of the Article 370 or the repealing of the special status for the Jammu and Kashmir and the division of the Jammu and Kashmir into the 2 union territories. However, this article is talking that if the BJP was so much confident about the good work, it should have been contested from this area. However, this time BJP has not filed a candidate even from this area. If this turnout has been on the decision of the BJP, so BJP would have been getting the good result. However, BJP is not contesting in this area where there has been the high turnout. The one of the possibility that this article is talking about, that this could have been that the people of this area want to change and they don't want to take the risk, and that's why they have taken the ballot box as the power, their power to change the power status quo. They don't want a status quo. They want to break into the status quo, and that's why they have gone for the higher number of the people. They have queued and they have voted to break the status quo. This is as per this news article. Next news article, this is talking about the end the punishment. Here it is talking about the whistleblower act of the WikiLeaks founder Assange, Julian Assange. Julian Assange, you should know that the Julian Assange, he is the Australian nation, and in 2010 he leaks the lot of information with respect to the US and many of the decisions taken by the US into the Iraq and Afghanistan. There was so much casualty of the civilians that has been not made public by the US government. However, it was leaked by this person, and he mentioned that how the power politics is going on across the world, and on that basis the US has filed the case of the against the Espionage Act into the US. So here the person was already into the exile into the Belgium, now he is into the jail into the UK, and now there is the extradition talk is going on that the person should, the Julian Assange should be handed over to the US, and there should be the case. So here this article is talking about that there is the two things. This you can use this as the into the GS paper 2 governance area, where it's talk about the whistleblowers, how the whistleblowers they impact the overall decision making in the governance. The second thing is the ethics. What is our responsibility toward a nation or the people? The integrity, how much context, how much extent to the breach of the a person's privacy will be there on the basis or on the pretext of the national security. Here there is the two things. Should we go for the national interest and the breach of the privacy of the people? Should we misuse the taxes given by the people for the power politics, or we should be careful about the emotions of the people, the privacy of the people, as well as we have to stand into the global community. Here you will see that on name of the national security there has been a lot of decision that was against the people of the same nation, US. So here you will see that the responsibility of the person, there is the threat of the many of the army personnel after the leak of this information. So there is the conflicting thing, and whenever you are going to write the answer, you can give the case study. This case study, you can certainly fetch a very good marks on the if you will provide such case study or the such statement and the examples. Next important news that is talking about the preeclampsia. Preeclampsia, this is mainly associated with the when the child is at the very initial stage, when it is just at the initial stage of its life, and it's talk about the different type of the care given to the child. And here you will see that the if this is not provided in a proper manner, and here it is given that the what are the expertise that has been associated with this the prenatal care. So such as the obstetrician and the radiologist, they are associated with the even the child is not born at the very initial stage when the child is going through the pregnancy period. After that you will see that the ASA worker and the Anganwadi workers, they provide the so much care. So here you will see that in India, due to this chaos has been not provided, there has been a very adverse impact on the pregnancy outcome. And here you will see that the lot of prenatal mortality rate has been due to the lack of this prenatal care. Here you will see that the 32 out of the 100 pregnancy, and you will see that the 25 out of the 1,000 live birth, there has been the such casualty we have seen. Okay, so here it is talking about the this care should be given the focus area. Next important news that we are talking about that is very important important with respect to the nuclear doctrine. Here you will see that this news is being discussed in the context of the Russian threat of the use of nuclear weapon, and recently we saw that the Russia was positioning its nuclear weapon into the Belarus. Okay, so here you will see that you should know that the Budapest memorandum. Here, the Budapest memorandum is associated with the disintegration of the USSR. When there was the USSR, the Ukraine was part of the USSR, and there was the nuclear weapon installation into the Ukraine. So when there was a disintegration, the Ukraine was Ukraine was the created as a separate nation. So Russia wanted that this nuclear weapon should be transferred to the Russia, and it was Ukraine accepted this agreement, this deal accepted, and yes, it was agreed on the assurance that the Ukraine will give up its nuclear weapon, and the Russia, UK and US, they will take the responsibility to protect the Ukraine from any of the nuclear threat. So here you will see that the same Russia that promise that we will protect you, now that is waging a war against the Ukraine. So here you will see that such type of the incident, what happens? They try to eliminate, or there is the negative impact on the faith and the trust on the nuclear doctrine, and our initiation at the global stage, our effort at the global stage to eliminate the nuclear weapon. And under that we are doing the non-proliferation movement and the nuclear weapon and the disarmament. Non-proliferation of the nuclear weapon and the disarmament. That is already going on under the UN. Okay. So here you will see that there has been the continuously this threat that Russia gave, that was under the context of the French support. There was the statement from the French president Emmanuel Macron that in one of the statements he said that they will deploy the troops to the Ukraine. Besides that, from the British, there was the comment that the British long-range weapons to be strike the target inside the Russia can be used by the Ukraine. In that case, the Russia said that if there will be such cases, we can go for the nuclear weapon and use of the nuclear weapon. However, you will see that there is no chance, because now the Russia is dominating and the Western influence has not reduced. However, such thing give the boost to the desire for the nations such as the Iran and North Korea, that there was the negotiation for the elimination of their nuclear weapon. However, they will see that if the possession of the nuclear weapon can give a lead on the against over the traditional war system, despite if the country has so many and so huge the standing army, but if that has not the nuclear weapon, and if a nation that has the very small standing army but it has the nuclear weapon, there will be the lead. You will see such thing into the North Korea case. Here the Japan, South Korea, they are all very powerful. They are all very powerful economically as well as the technologically. However, they don't have the nuclear weapon, and that's why the North Korea, that is a poor country suffering from the survival, is threatening again and again for due to the nuclear weapon, possession of the nuclear weapon. And here you will see that the case of the Iran and Israel, again the same thing. Here you will see that any nuclear use will not only harm the country against that has been used. However, it can harm the country that is going to use, and in the many cases, if there is the such thing, there is the chance that the mutual assured destruction. This is known as the mutual assured destruction, means that there will be the collateral damage, and if I am going to attack on the other country. For example, if there is the fight between the Pakistan and the China, Pakistan is going to use the nuclear weapon against the Pakistan. Pakistan will also will use the nuclear weapon against the China, and there is the destruction of the both. That is known as the mutually assured destruction in the case of the nuclear weapon, because it has a lot of capability to destroy a large area. So that is that is all about, that is being discussed in these news analysis. Here it is talking about the North Korea and how the Iran, here it has talking about the asymmetric advantage if you have the nuclear weapon, because the conventional warfare, whatever you have the advantage, whatever the powerful army you have, if you don't have the nuclear weapon, you will not stand against the country who have this nuclear weapon. So here, and this type of the use of the statement will dilute such a deterrence. If you will again use and again use again and again, and you will see that the credibility of the India in the nuclear weapon. That's why India is respected. For example, when there was the war, Kargil war, despite there was so much threat from the Pakistan side, India not a single time said that we will use the nuclear weapon. And that's why across the world, the legitimacy of the nuclear weapon in India was accepted. Okay, despite they are opposing, but they respect the way we handle the Kargil war without the taking the name of the nuclear weapon. So this is the credibility that we have done. Next news is with respect to the changing rules on the onion export. Here you will see that the government imposed the ban on the onion and gradually it removed. And however, we saw that into the context of the election, first it was removed into the Gujarat because the Gujarat passed through the first and second phase of the election. And after that, when there was a protest, the restriction was removed into the Maharashtra as well. So here this is discussing that how this has been impacting the overall the voting pattern as well. Next important news that we are going to take is from the analyzing local environmental footprints. Here it is talking about that the local footprints means the footprints. It means that whatever the emissions we are making at the individual level or the community level, how it is going to impact overall environmental factors such as the air pollution, the carbon dioxide emissions, as well as the impact on the others area. So here you will see that the footprints, environmental footprints of individual as well as community. So local environmental footprints. Here you will see that here the study is analyzing that what is the impact of whenever there is the transition from the one level of the economic sections to the other area of the economic section. For example, if I am a poor person, I will have using my food or that wood for the fuel, for the burning and for the cooking my food. Okay. So there will be what will be the impact? If I will grow and I will become rich, I will have the cylinder. But as I will have the cylinder, there will be the reduction into from the transition from the fuel wood to the LPG, but however there is the consumption pattern also change. I will go for the outside for the fooding. I will have the lot of need that is not necessary, and you will see that those who are the richer, they are doing the more luxury consumption, and luxury consumption result into the unwanted emission of the carbon dioxide, air pollution, and the particulate matter. Here, CO2, water, more water consumption that is not needed, and the PM, particulate matter, and their footprint. So here you will see that the need for I will have the demand for the dining out, vacation, furniture, social events. I will do the parties, and those party will include so many things that is not necessary, and those things if you will produce, there is a lot of emission. Here you will see that there is the 2 times more consumption and more emission, more impact on all this thing by those who are going to use these luxurious consumption. Okay, so here the data has been given that how much increase into the CO2, 68%. Okay, 68% rise into the water, then 39% into the CO2. So here it has given all this thing, how much percentage will increase if I will become the wealthiest segment. Okay, and there will be the substantial increase in such consumption and resultant impact on the environment. Okay, so here you will see that while some sustainability effort often focus on the global climate change, we need to focus on the segmented area into the community as well. That is the main analysis of this analysis. Okay, so here you will see that the more use of the personal goods, jewelry, eating out contribute to the rise in CO2 and the air pollution. Next important news that is talking about the recent RBI proposed framework to administer project financing. Here you will see that the large project, they need a longer time to completion. For example, if they are going to make a road, so road creation of a road or the bridge that take many years, many a times this takes 5 years. For example, the largest bridge on the sea that has been recently completed into the Mumbai, that is the Atal bridge. We see that the completion took lot of time, near about the 5-6, more than 5-6 years. And here you will see that due to the increase in the time, there is a lot of risk that this project will get success. If this get the success, whether this will get the money that has been invested. So here the bank need to take the risk, and that's why the RBI has changed with the risk factor. Now they have provided that now their need for the provisioning. This provisioning means the setting aside some of the money ahead of the time to compensate for the potential loss. Means if you are getting 100 rupees, you have invested 100 rupees for the project, you will keep aside 5 rupees. So if there is a loss, you will use this fund 5 rupees to compensate this loss. Here, however, this is not taken in a good view, because here this is many a times this result into the higher burden on the developer. Developer have to mobilize 5 more rupees, arrange more for more rupees, and that's why this create the extra burden. And the developer, they face lot of other hurdles, such as the environmental clearance is not easy. There's a lot of restriction from the forest department, as well as you will see that the regulatory measure that you have to keep your size this, you cannot build this, you have to include this, and the legal clearance. Here you will see that simply if you will start some of the businesses, you will find that there is lot of restriction, lot of hurdles. For example, recently there was the one of the experience where I was going for the electricity supply, and there was lot of demand from those people who were involved in this. The lot of demand, they were demanding for the money that corrupt money, bribe money, and that was not possible to arrange, because already you have to incur so many, you have to invest so much money to develop this project. And beside that, if you feel this type of the hurdle, here you will get the progress of this project get hampered. Beside that, you will see that the RBI is talking about the independent engineer, they will and architecture, they will be certifying the project progress, and this had to be done on the yearly basis. Every year you have to do all this thing, and again this is considered as going to increase the cost, compliance cost, and that's why it can result into the cost overrun. And we see that in the most of the cases, due to the delay in the project, there is the cost overrun, and in many times it reaches to the 25% of the total cost. This is the situation. Okay, so this is here, it has mentioned that what is the framework, proposed framework, and how it is going to impact over all the developer system for the long gestational period project. Long gestation means it's take lot of time, many years to get this project completed. So this is all about from the today's news. We have covered most of the relevant news. Here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.